All right, so morning, everyone. Yesterday, we had the chance to start with a new unit, right? Do you remember the grammar topic that we were checking? Who remember grammar topic? What is the present past tense that we check? Who knows? Who remember? That was in 2B. Was it present, past? How was it?
El uso del was y were.
Sorry, can you please repeat?
El uso de was y were.
Was and were in past progressive, yes. So it was, or past continuous. So was and were was part of it. And the second verb, what is the characteristic of the second verb? We mentioned was and were as the past tense of verb to be, but what about the other verb? What do we need to add? We need to add 3 letters at the end.
ing.
ing, great. Actually, later on, we're going to do a practice similar to what we were doing, like recognize when do we use past tense, remember short actions, and then in long actions that we use past progressive, okay? So, but that is something we're going to do later on. All right. We also did grammar, reading, sorry, you complete grammar with your partners, but we didn't check anything of vocabulary and pronunciation of this unit, right? So that is what we're going to do right now before we do the grammar practice, okay? Let me unhide the activities, 90%, okay. I'm gonna open it right now.
Miss, la otra actividad no la puede realizar.
Which one was that? The
Era,
number?
era, creo que 4A. Es que estaba confuso ese audio también.
Yeah, some of you mentioned that it was weird. I think the options were right, but the listening was not right. I think so.
Exacto.
Yeah. So was this one? No. This
Creo que era el último. Sí, ajá, 5D.
okay. All right, let me check. Yes, that was my.
En la cartera.
Let's see. Let me decrease the zoom because I cannot see. Okay. I think it was the previous listening, the listening of the word, because here you have 10. So I don't think this is the problem. Maybe the other listening, the one of the word book. Let me see. Okay, let me check. Okay, so refresh your activity. Now it's corrected, okay? All right, so we mentioned that, let me show you this two and this two. I think I have And there you are. Wait a second. Yep. Okay. I have an image that I want you to check. That we can use in order to answer this. Wait a minute. 2 minutes. Oh my God. Let me put more time. No, only one is okay. Okay, so let's see. Here says which preposition, and we're going to be checking when do we use them, like with examples that we have, okay? Let me make it bigger. It says, which preposition do you use before a date, a time, the morning, the afternoon, a room or building? For example, the convention center. So the three options that we have, I'm gonna write them in the chat, are in, on, at. Okay? So this is before the explanation in order to see if we know or not about this topic, okay? So do you know which is the preposition you use before 4th of November, a date?
On.
On, okay. So you have to type, okay? Lowercase, on. Do not use capital letters. All right. What do you use in number 2? A time. For example, 11 o'clock.
At.
Okay, thank you. At 11 o'clock, very good. Then the morning, the afternoon, etc. What do we in? Okay. And what about the last one? A room or building, the convention center.
On.
In.
In.
All right. This is very simple. Remember, it was only to know if you know. All right. This is 3A, the first activity of vocabulary of the student book 2B. All right. Please go and complete very quickly this one. It's really easy.
QB.
Hello, tell me. You want to say something, Juan Marcos? Juan Marcos, sorry.
No, pero estaba buscando cuál era el ejercicio del 2B, ¿no?
Yes, to be a student book. It's vocabulary. All right, so right now we're going to do the next activity, which is 3B. Oh my God, this exercise only has 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, very easy. So similar to the previous one that says that we have to check the answers in this text. What preposition do we use with a month? Remember that the previous was a date. It was November 4th. This is only the month. Only January, only November. What do we use? In, on,
On.
in.
In.
On, it was for a date. Then the weekend, in, on, at.
Um,
At
um,
the weekend, at the weekend. Then we have home, work, school. What do we have? In, on, at. In home, on home, at home. How is it? In work, at work, on work. So which is the option? In, on, at. At, excellent, yes. So in this case, we haven't used on and it's okay. So answering this one very quickly is exercise 3B of the vocabulary, the last unit that we have.
Miss, in the number 3, what is the answer?
At,
At.
at. Okay, just in case this is the image I have sent you to the group of WhatsApp, right? Here you have the same prepositions that we have been using, but for time, in this case, we have they, dates, hour, everything that you can see. And the other one are to be used as prepositions of place, right? In order to mention small places, right? Or big ones, right? When you're referring to a country, a city, etc. So I strongly recommend you that you use this chart when doing the practice, so then you then memorize and remember this easily. All right? I have already sent you this. Okay. So we finished 3A, 3B. Let's go to this one. 2A, and yes, we have 10 minutes. Okay. Wait a second.
Miss, en esa ahí es que me equivoqué, porque yo primero pensé que era esa, la tercera. Entonces, no sé si me puede ayudar para ver si lo puedo volver a repetir, porque salí y tengo 0 ahí.
Yeah, okay, but let's answer together and then I can open for you, okay? Don't worry. All right, so let me open. This is 2A. We have to complete, but in this case, we're going to use not only in on at, we have something else. I think it's 4 and 2, maybe about 2. Okay, yes, we have here the options of, at, for, about, on, to, in, right? So remember, we have 3, 6, 7 options, okay? So let's try to see. Remember, we are answering this together, okay? So in case you have questions or you have the answers, give them, okay? First one says, I arrived Paris on Friday night. So which is the option that we have for number 1?
In.
In, What I'm going to do is that I will write, okay? Because for me, it's easier than to drag the words. Number 2, I was very tired when I arrived. And then it says the hotel. So
At.
at the hotel, great, at the hotel. Number 3, I hate waiting, and then it says
For.
people who are late. For
For.
people, for people who are late. Okay, let me write the options in the chat so I can scroll down and you can still see the options, okay? So I have of, at, for, about, on, to, and in. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll down now. Let's see. Number 4, A. What are you going to do then the weekend?
At.
Look at my the options I am writing. I only use lowercase. Do not use capital letters. Capital letters are mayúsculas, right? Do not use them. So B, I don't know. It depends. And then it says the weather. It depends
On.
on the weather. Yes. 5, I'm sorry, but I really don't agree with you. You don't have to complete anything here. I don't agree with you. 6, I asked a chicken sandwich, but this is tuna. I asked, I asked for a chicken sandwich. Imagine you go to, I don't know, where they buy, they sell, maybe KFC, they send chicken sandwiches and you receive a tuna. So I asked for. 7, let's invite Debbie team the party. Debbie and team.
To.
To the party. Number 8, who's going to pay And then it says the meal.
Four.
At.
For the meal.
Mm.
Mhm. Okay, 9. I need to speak Martin the meeting. To, what do you say to? To Martin, yes. If you pay attention, guys, to something, the collocations of the word says waiting for, ask for, pay for, speak to. They are words that they're always together, okay, when you use them. 10, I don't spend much money, and then food. I don't spend much money. How do you spend money? On food. Are you going to ride him soon? Are you going to ride?
Who?
To him, great. Number 12, don't worry. The exam, it isn't very hard. Remember, you have the options in the chat of Zoom. Don't worry.
About.
Don't worry about the exam. To worry about, that is also a collocation, words that are always together. Worry about. Okay, she fell. Love a man she met on the internet. She fell. In. To fall in love. What is to fall in love? Or to fall in love? What is this expression? What is the meaning of that? To fall in love or fall in love? What is it? Nothing, you don't know. Try to guess. If it says love and fail, it's not that you're going to fail on the floor, no. What is the meaning of fell in love or fall in love? What is it? I have 13 students. One, give me the answer, please. What is the meaning of fell in love? You can find in the dictionary if you wish. Nothing. My goodness. To fall in love. Thank you so much. Enamorarse, yes. So that is what we need to, like some phrases that we have to remember, because sometimes we can listen to them in movies, in songs, and we don't know the meaning. So it's important that we bear in mind these common phrases, right? So if you see fell and love, you always remember in, fell in love, fall in love. 14, you are not listening. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? What is the answer? About. What are you thinking about? 15, A. What do you think? Shakira. What do you think? And it says B. I really like her. I think she's great. One of the options.
About.
Think about. It's not bad. Think about. But in this case, they're using thinking of Shakira. But think about is an option that I will use also. Okay, so let's confirm. Finish everything. Okay, so remember, this is vocabulary 2A. Complete with a word from the list. And let me scroll down so you can see. I think you can see. All right. Please complete. Homework is open again. Okay, so before we do the pronunciation practice, I want you to do a quizzes about this in on add topic, okay? So let me start the live quiz. You see. Okay, don't forget to put your name and last name, okay? Because in that way I can put the grade later on. Okay, let me copy the link. I will put it in the chat. And also in the WhatsApp group. Remember, you're going to be using in, on, at, okay? All right. Okay, 8 people. I'm missing more. Okay, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm missing one person. All right, ready?
Un ratito, que se me está cargando la página.
Yeah, I was checking the names. I knew I was missing one.
Espere que se me salió, no se puede conectar.
Yeah. You can do it in your phones if you wish, not necessarily in the computer, right? Maybe it's quite slow, so.
Ya estoy, Miss, por si acaso.
Yeah, and Lilibet also, or not yet? Remember, you can do it in your phone or the computer, it's okay. All right, don't forget, you have these 3 options, and remember to check when you have, when you are talking about bigger places, smaller places, or very specific ones, which option you use, okay? So there we are. Let's start. Okay. So here says that the accuracy was 63. So more than a half of your activities were okay, right? So definitely we need to practice a little bit more, but it's part of being working in a topic, okay? So let me download the answers. Go download, Yes. Okay, great. So was it easy, difficult? Tell me. How do you consider this activity?
Confused.
Confused. Why it was confused? Tell me.
Yo me confundo entre in, on, at. Me confundo.
Okay, so because of the topic was confused. Yes. Let me see. Today is January 14. We're going to check something else before we move on to another topic. This is in, on, at. Yeah. So let me open the image I had. It was, no, let me move the image. Wait a second. Okay, Paola, I will help you once I finish with this explanation, okay? So let's look at, in general terms, when do we use each of them? We have like a triangle, right? In for bigger, then on, more specific, but let's say smaller, and at very specific. So when you are talking about general stuff, like countries in the case of places, cities, neighborhood, for example, if you say Paris, you don't know in which place of Paris, inside Paris, you are maybe having breakfast in vacations, right? You're mentioning only the city, that's it, it's general, right? Then it says in enclosed space. What is an enclosed space? Who knows? I'm talking about places right now. In countries, in cities, in neighborhoods, like in Alvorada, in Guayacanes, in La Ceiba, in, right, neighborhoods. Then what is an enclosed space? It says a car. What else is an enclosed space? Who knows? What is the reference of it to mention an enclosed space? What's that? Nothing, no idea. What is the
It's a house.
Uh-huh. So in an elevator, right? You are in a building, you are in an elevator, is an enclosed space. Okay. And then when you're talking about time, again, you talk about general or bigger periods of time. For example, centuries, decades, years. In 2024, in 5 weeks, in the summer, in the future, in Christmas holiday, in the morning, in the afternoon, right? So big. You don't know at what time in the morning, but you know it's in the morning, right? Big. Then when you're talking about on, you mentioned more specific, but not so much. You have more information, but not really specific. So then let's go to place. It says on streets, right? On Tancamarengo Avenue, right? On Quito Avenue, right? On, I don't know a lot of names of a street, but then you got idea. Then on the floor, it says surfaces, right? Remember that we mentioned at a certain point that in is when it is inside, but on is the surface, on the floor, on the table, on the, I don't know, what else? The locker, on, surface. Not that it's inside something, but surface. Then on a bus, on the plane, on the train, means of transportation. Then regarding communications, we're talking on the phone, on the radio, etc. Right? And when you are referring to time, it says holidays with day. For example, Easter Day, Independence Day, right? Or what else do we have? Well, it's not Halloween Day, or maybe Thanksgiving Day, for example. Then it says on, you don't have only the week, but then you have on Monday, on Tuesday, on, you mentioned the day of the week, then the dates. When you say date, remember that in the exams, we always put date because you need the month and the number and also the year. That is the date, right? In this case, on April 3rd, today, we're having classes on Sunday 14, January 14, right? Or specific days, my birthday, Christmas, or I don't know, on Halloween, on Independence Day, or yeah, time, on time. It says the weekend, on the weekdays. They are part of the day. For example, on Sunday morning, right now we're having classes on Sunday morning, okay? And then being very specific, it's when you use at. At Now you don't mention the country, you don't mention the avenue, you mention the address, 456 State Street, right? You mention the block, Solar, Manzana, everything in detail, addresses, at the address. At a specific location, at the station, at the airport, at the Metrovia terminal, at the, I don't know, right? A specific location, right? And then about the time, here says, at, and then the specific hour. You don't say at Sunday morning, no. At 8 a.m. We start classes at 9 a.m. We finish classes at 1 p.m. Very specific. Okay, no, we finish in the afternoon. No, we finish at a specific time. Then at part of the day, at noon, at midnight, etc. Okay. What else? We have the moment, at time, at the moment. It means right now. Or we have holidays without a, at Easter. Okay. In this case, you can say also, you see, Easter day is with on and only Easter with at. Okay, so in this case, yes, it might be quite confused if you want to remember everything at the same time, but if you only practice and use them more and more and more, there is a point in which you memorize and you remember, yeah, so I have to say, in, and I mentioned the country, yes, so in Ecuador. It was made in China, no made in China, right? Made in China. You don't say made on China or made at China. When you mention only the country, you mention it, in. So, hopefully we're gonna have more practices, okay? And it is not that confused for you later on. Okay, so let me see. It says student book 2B. To be of the student book. This one? No. Okay, this one. Yeah, I'm gonna show you the answers this way. Can you see? Take a photo, a screenshot, and then you can complete. Yep. Great. All right, so let's continue. In here, we're only missing, yeah, this is something that we check later. We're only missing the pronunciation section. Here it says, sentence stress. When you mention stress, it's not that you are tired and the stress that we mention when we are, busy with a lot of stuff. When you're talking about pronunciation, it's how strong you mention something, in this case, in a sentence. So you can see there are some words in the image that are bigger than the others. Can you see? That means those words are pronounced stronger. Okay? So let's listen first. And I truly want you to repeat. It says listen and repeat and copy the rhythm. I'm gonna play it twice. Try to copy the pronunciation. Please repeat at home.
1.43.
Where were you at 6 o'clock in the evening?
I was at work.
So try to repeat at home, please.
.43.
Where were you at 6 o'clock in the evening?
I was at work.
What were you doing?
I was having a meeting with the boss.
Okay, so if you notice, here says, it doesn't say, where were you at 0 o'clock in the evening? No, it says, where were you at 6 o'clock in the evening? Right? I was at work. It doesn't say, I was at work. I was at work, right? You see, so it's not so exaggerated, but they are recommending you how to pronounce it. What were you doing? It doesn't say, what were you doing? You see, it's only the pronunciation stress that we are mentioning here. All right, so what else? It says, I was having a meeting with the boss. It doesn't say, I was having a meeting with the boss. No, right? So I was having a meeting with the boss. So in order to sound more natural, no weird, right? Because sometimes when we read, especially in another language, we tend to sound no natural, right? We're not going to sound like gringos, but then at least to be understood, right? Okay, so right now we're going to do a practice in which you have to take turns to answer the questions about yesterday. Okay, and this is something you're going to do here and now, right? I'm going to tell who is going to ask who, right? But first, I want you to, I don't know, open a Word document, take a piece of paper, but have your answers ready, okay? So when we do the practice, you know what to do or what to say. It says about yesterday. So yesterday, if you don't remember, because sometimes I don't even remember what I had for breakfast the day before, but invent, right? For example, yesterday at 6:30, you were sleeping, or maybe you were walking your dog, or you were preparing your breakfast. I don't know. So write it down. 6:30, having breakfast, or watching my favorite series. I don't know, whatever you say. 11, I was in classes. I was completing the task of blah, blah, blah. Lunchtime. I had lunch at 2 p.m. with my family. Or, so write it down, 4 p.m. Remember, if you were only sleeping the whole afternoon and night, invent that you were doing exercise, invent that you were, I don't know, playing football, that you were playing board games, or you were playing PlayStation, whatever you can invent during those times, 6 p.m., 10 p.m., and midnight. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes to write in a piece of paper or in a document those 7 answers. Because after the 7 minutes, I'm going to ask you to answer them orally. Okay, so remember that we're going to answer about yesterday. Okay, so you have 7 minutes, please.
How many questions, Miss?
7, I mean, you're writing the answers right now, the answers of this, because they are going to ask you, okay? So write only the answers.
Miss, una pregunta muy aparte de la actividad. Estaba
Ujú.
revisando la Excel y en el casillero de la actividad que hicieron el 7 de enero, usted me indicó que la gallera. Tengo 0, no sé si me lo podría cambiar. O no, aunque es sobre menos nota, me imagino. Pero ya terminé las dos actividades ese día. Que era el drive y la del video en flip.
Yeah, you're talking about the activity in Google Slides. Yes, that one.
Sí. Y la del video en flip que ayer le indiqué que me dé permiso para subirlo.
Yeah. Okay, so actually
Yes.
what I do is, for example, up to yesterday, I check everything that was done. So probably today in the afternoon or by next weekend, I check again the ones that have 0. So if it is complete and I check the date, I put you the grade. Don't worry about that. So if now it's complete, now you have grade. Mhm. Don't worry. Okay, so right now, you are going to do a speaking and a writing activity, 2 in 1. Let's see how it goes. If you pay attention, if you really listen to your classmates, right? So let's see. I'm going to explain you what you're going to do. Give me a second because I need to share with you something else too. Wait a minute. And I think I can share it with you this way. Wait a second. Yeah, I think this is. Okay, I'm gonna explain you. So we are how many? 12. Okay, and I think we are all here. Let's see. I'm gonna take as an example, Mylene, you are next to me, so you're going to be the example with me. Okay, so you're going to be my partner. Let's imagine. So I'm gonna give you, for example, I would say, so you are working with this person, you with this person, I will decide your pairs, okay? In this case, my example is Mylene. So out of the 7 options that I have to ask about yesterday, I'm going to ask only 4, okay? So look at the example. The first part is speaking. So Mylene, where were you at lunchtime yesterday?
I was at home. I was eating my lunch.
Okay, thank you. And now you ask me a question. Ask me a question. So we're 1-1. Ask me. Mhm.
Where were you at midnight?
I was truly sleeping. Okay, so what were you doing at 4 p.m., Mylene?
I was at home. I was doing homework.
Okay, so, and then she asked me another one. So you see, are you going to ask the 7 times to your partner? No, you choose 4. In my case, I start asking about lunchtime because I knew that she was in classes at 11, so I didn't ask about that, right? So you ask orally here in front of the class because we need to practice speaking, right? And once you finish speaking, you are going to go to this resource. You're going to go to Padlet because I want you to write the answer of your classmate. Okay, here it says that you have, I'm gonna send you this, don't worry. It says about yesterday, answer the questions about yesterday. Group 1, let's imagine Mylene and I were group 1. So I am going, let me delete this. If I am part of the group 1 or the 2 first people that participate, I'm going to click here. And here in the subject, I'm going to put Mylene's answers. Okay. Yes. And I'm gonna write, first, she told me she was having lunch at home with her family. That was the first one, right? Then she says that she was doing, you see, in the writing, I am using a past continuous. Have you pay attention to that? So she was doing her homework at 4 p.m. Question 3. She was, whatever is my 3 and whatever is my 4, right? So, and then I publish. So it says Mylene's answers, but I can see my name because I am the one typing. If you don't have an account in Padlet, create it with Google or something that is very quickly, okay? Then Mylene has to go here, click on add pause. In subject, she will put list answers. And she will put 1. She was blah, 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 2, 3, and 4. And then she published. You see, so that is group 1. Then, but you are writing what the other group is speaking, you see? So you are doing nothing during the time. So I'm gonna delete this. It was just an example, right? Example, delete the example. Okay. I'm gonna send you the link. Here says that you have to log in, okay, in order to work. So this one is the link of the Padlet, and this is the other. Oops. Yeah. Okay. So. All right. So first part, what is it about? Is speaking in front of everyone, and then you have to write it in the Padlet. That's why I need you to have a piece of paper, a notebook, whatever, in order to write down the answers, because you can forget, or write it in your phone, in the notepad, or in a document. I don't know, but write the answers. You have to remember, and you have to use past continuous to write, okay? So let's start. Let's do the first try in order to see if you can do it okay or not, right? So let's see. Yeah, I can see your names. Okay, Fabricio and Diego, please start. Ask 4 questions to each other, one, please, orally. Remember, this is orally and you take notes, please.
Where were you at 11 a.m.?
I was in a English class at 11 a.m. Where were you at 4 p.m.?
Oh, I was in cafeteria. Where were you at 5 p.m.?
5 p.m. I was playing the guitar at 5 p.m. Where were you at midnight?
Oh, I was sleeping in my bed.
Use this question.
Where were you at 6 p.m.?
I was at home and I was watching a TV series. What were you doing at 10 p.m.?
10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
It's a homework.
Okay, so you finished the 4 or you're missing 1? I think you're missing 1, no? Or you finished 4?
4.
4. We
For
finished at 4.
each of you. Okay, so
Yes.
now you have the answers of each other. So now Fabricio and Diego have to come here and start writing the answer of your classmate, okay? So let me continue with the group number 2. I have Rodrigo and Paola. Don't forget to use both questions. Where were you at? And what were you doing? Okay, please start, Rodrigo and Paola.
Where were you at 6 in the morning?
And 6 to I'm asleep and I still at home.
Where were you at 11 a.m.?
¿Puedes repetir, por favor?
Where were you at 11 a.m.?
I'm going to eat my 11 o'clock with my family.
You have lunchtime at 4 p.m.
Don't forget to follow the question. Where were you at 4 p.m.? Or what were you doing in lunchtime? Follow the questions, okay?
At 4 o'clock in the morning, I help my mom make a dinner.
What were you doing at 6 p.m.?
¿Lo ves?
Fine. What were you doing at 6 p.m.?
No sé si es mi internet, pero no te escucho bien.
What were you doing at 6 p.m.?
I am sleeping.
Okay. Paola, you also have to ask.
Where were you at 6 o'clock in the morning?
I was waiting, ready to go to university.
Where were you at 10 o'clock?
Go in sleeping.
What were you doing in 11 in lunchtime?
I was having fish for lunch.
What were you doing in midnight?
I just going to sleep.
Okay. So Fabricio, you wrote your own answers. Wasn't it the answers of your classmate, Diego's answers? No. Thank you, Paola and Rodrigo. Please go to the link and go to group 2. So Fabricio, you wrote your answers or the answers of Diego?
My answers. I don't remember the answers of Diego.
The idea is that you remember. That's why I asked you to take notes. So you can send a message by like direct message here, select Diego's name and ask him the answer that he mentioned. Okay, the idea here is that you're right. He was blah, 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 right? That's the idea of, working pairs, right? You can edit that, don't worry. So Diego, please communicate with Fabricio. So now, Paola and Rodrigo, you are group 2. Go here. Don't forget, Paola has to write Rodrigo's answers, and Rodrigo has to write Paola's answers. Okay? Let's continue. I have these two. Okay. Mel Zamora and Alejandro Navarro. You are group 3.
When were you at 11 a.m. in the morning?
I was at home and I was in English class. What were you doing in lunchtime?
I ate ice cream at lunchtime. When were you at 6 p.m. in the afternoon?
I was on the soccer field. I was playing soccer. What were you at 10 p.m.?
I went with my sister to the house at 10 p.m. What were you doing at midnight?
I was listening to music. listening to music. What were you doing 4 p.m.?
I was at my sister's birthday at 4 p.m.
Okay, don't forget you're taking notes. Have you finished? Yes, or you're missing one?
Yo falta uno. When were you at 6 to 30 a.m.?
I was at home. I was sleeping. What were you at 11 a.m.?
I was attending English class at 11 a.m.
Okay. So now you can go to the Padlet and start completing, okay? Yeah, don't forget you are group 3, okay? So you have to answer below. Let me see. Yeah, there we are. Okay, thank you so much.
Miss,
Tell me.
me sale que solo miembros pueden entrar.
That's why I mentioned if you don't have a Padlet account, create with Google. That is immediately. So you create the account and then you can enter. Try to create the account and then let me know, okay? The rest, let me see. Diego, Rodrigo, well, Pablo, you mentioned, Melan, Alejandro, let me know if you cannot, okay? That you have to create the account.
Miss, ¿será que podrían escribir las respuestas en el chat?
Sorry, I was mute. The thing is that the idea is that the first part is speaking, is that you are listening. So that's the point. Of course, later on, you can talk with your partner and say, did you say that you were having lunch at home or somewhere else? So you can confirm with your partner, but the first one, I truly want to be listening and speaking. That's why I want you to pay attention and take notes, okay? And don't forget, if you don't listen, for example, or you need a repetition, you can say in English, can you repeat, please? Or can you say it louder? Or repeat the question again, please. Okay, you can say so if you don't listen, all right? So I had 3 groups so far. Yep, 1, 2, 3. All right, so Juan Marco and Lilibet. You're group 4.
Yes.
Let me- Yeah,
Can I ask
sure.
to Lilibet? Where were you at 11 a.m. in the morning? Ella me tiene que... ¿Sigo diciendo las preguntas o espero que me respondan?
You have to wait for the answer. Lilibet.
No. I was having English class at 11 a.m.
Where were you at 4 p.m. in the
I was I was going at Capel Stadium.
Where were you at 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. I was having a meeting with my group.
What were you doing at 10 p.m.?
I went to my aunt's birthday at the 10 p.m. 10 p.m. sí.
And where were you at 6:30 a.m.?
I was sleeping at 6:30 a.m. Y ahora ya terminaste, sí.
This all.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't forget you have taken notes about your classmates' answer. Now you have to come here and start answering. Okay, so in this case, again, Diego and Fabricio, you don't have to write your own answers. So read and change the answer of your classmate. Okay, you have to write the answer of your classmate, not yours. Okay, thank you so much. Let me continue with the other group. I have Cristina and Jessica. Wait a second. I had Cristina, Jessica. I had my link with Gabi, but now I cannot see Gabi anymore. So I'm gonna ask you to be Cristina, Jessica, and Mylene, because then I don't have a partner for Mylene, okay? So you're going to ask the questions to the three of you. So first, Cristina, ask a question to Mylene, please. Cristina.
Yeah. What were you doing 11 a.m.?
I was home. I was English class.
Okay, now Mylene, ask a question to Jessica. So don't forget you are taking notes what Cristina, Mylene, and Jessica answered. Take notes. Okay, so Mylene, ask Jessica.
Where were you lunch time?
I was resting.
Okay, now Jessica, ask the question to Cristina. Now we are finishing round one. Remember, there are 4 questions. So Jessica, ask Cristina.
What were you doing?
What were you doing until the time? 6:30, 11 a.m. You have to add the time.
Yeah, what were you doing? 6 o'clock.
Okay, Cristina.
Miss, lo que pasa es que tengo problemas con internet. No sé si me puede repetir de nuevo.
Yes, Jessica, please repeat the question.
What were you doing 6 o'clock?
I was about to leave work.
Okay, continue, Cristina. Ask the question to Mylene, the question number 2.
What were you doing 4 p.m.?
I was studying for an exam.
Okay, continue, Mylene. Ask Jessica.
What were you doing midnight?
I was in my house.
Okay, continue. Jessica, ask Cristina.
Where were at you at six in the morning?
Cristina.
I was in my house.
Okay, now you finish round 2. 3, question 3. Cristina, ask Mylene.
What were you doing? Mm, what were you doing? What were you doing 10 p.m.?
I was listening to music.
Okay, continue, Mylene, ask Jessica.
Where were you 4 p.m.?
I was doing on my work.
Okay. Jessica, ask Cristina.
What were you doing in the afternoon?
Miss, no sé si me puede repetir de nuevo, es que no lo entendí.
Jessica, please.
What were you doing in the afternoon?
Okay, so
I was working.
okay, and the last one. Cristina, ask Mylene. Remember, you are taking notes about the answers. Okay. Cristina, ask Mylene.
What were you doing 6 p.m.?
I was at the mall.
Okay, Mylene, ask Jessica.
Where were you at 10 p.m.?
Okay, so at 10 p.m., Jessica.
In Riobamba.
Can you repeat the answer, Jessica, please?
Pardon?
Mylene asked you a question. So Mylene, can you please repeat?
Where were you at 10 p.m.?
Jessica, answer.
I was resting.
Okay, so ask the last question, Jessica, to Cristina, and you finish. The last question.
Me toca a mí, ¿verdad? Preguntarle.
Yes.
Ya. What were you doing in the 11, 12 dancing.
Can you repeat, please?
What were you doing? 11, 12.
What were you doing at 11 a.m.? Okay. So, Cristina.
I was in English class. Sí, se me escuchó a mí.
Yes. Okay. So, guys, right now, you have 4 minutes to finish. I'm going to start checking what you are writing. Remember, if Rodrigo is answering Paola's answer, so he has to write, she was still sleeping, or she was still asleep. Then she was going to eat, don't forget, okay? In this case, Alejandro wrote Mel's answer, so she was doing blah, blah, blah. She was, you have to use past simple or past continuous. That is the idea, to use the information that we have practiced, in this case, the grammar topics. Okay, so in this case, Rodrigo, you have to check. All right, so what else? Let me scroll down. I don't know more. Okay, so I assume right now, Fabricio has edited, right? He was sleeping, he was, yeah. And Diego, you have to edit. Fabricio's answer, right? You have to write. He was in the cafeteria, or he was, all right, please. You have 4 or 5 minutes to finish with this. We only had 5 groups, so let me delete, well, group 6. This is in case Gabby wants to do it. I'm gonna put it here. She's the only absent. Okay, so go, please, go and work. So far, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to include this link of the Padlet here, okay? Okay, so in case someone doesn't find the exercise, you can have it here, and you also have it in your WhatsApp group, okay? Let me make it smaller so I can see you working. Okay, so Rodrigo, continue editing. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put the timer just in case.
Teacher, tenemos que registrarnos para poder hacer eso.
Yes. Okay, just 2 more minutes so the group number 5 can finish. While they're finishing, I want to check something with you. Just in case, I think you do have access to the reports. This is what I have, the grades I have. I have whatever is not Moodle, and here, the Flipgrids video. So for example, in the first task that says December 17, let's go to December 17. This one, Grammar Bank 1A, that you had to write questions, right? And you were working this in class. There are some students that never finished the questions, okay? Or in here, only I have the questions, but I don't know, for example, here is Christina, and here, I don't know who was working with Christina, so I don't have any grade, right? So it is important that you, as I mentioned yesterday, double check the activities. If you have your name and if it is completed, please. Otherwise, for me, it's not. Okay, this one with a name, etc. Right? What else?
Miss, una
Mhm.
consulta.
Miss, yo sí
Ahorita que
completé eso.
Yeah,
Sí.
let me listen one by one, okay? So, Fabricio, you were talking.
Eh, ahorita que usted revisó ahí está que nosotros realizamos, o sea, yo hice con Maylin y no está nuestra nota.
Miss, ¿por qué tengo 0 la primera actividad?
Because maybe you weren't completing at that moment and you completed later on. I'm checking. Ajá.
Entonces ese es el 17 de
Yes.
diciembre, es que yo no estuve esa clase, ¿puedo
I know.
completarla aún?
Yes,
Ok,
that's why
thank
I'm
you.
doing this. So maybe there are people, like for example, yesterday, I think it was Diego that asked me to open the speaking task. I can open. What I cannot do is that when you are taking the exams, now, please, miss, check me the activity of the first class. I cannot do that in the moment of the exams. But right now, yes, I can do it, right? Okay, so for example, you mentioned Fabricio here, so I can change your grade. The thing is that this is the activity that the grades that I checked the day you were working. So if you do it maybe at the end of the class or the day after that class, or I don't know if you came the second day or the next week that we start, I don't remember. So maybe that was the
Miss,
reason.
Maylin también trabaja conmigo.
Yeah, let me see. Okay. I am doing this in class, not to have then, no, I didn't know my grade. I don't know why I had this. So this is the moment to check, to complete, etc. So what else? Who else have an observation in here?
Miss,
Mhm.
esa actividad yo recuerdo que fue el primer día de clases que yo falté, pero yo sí la realicé.
Yeah, let me see.
Está en el room 4.
Yeah, Cristina, yes, you are here.
Yo resolví las dos, la primera y la
Yeah.
otra.
Okay. Who else? Let me see. This one, I don't know. Who wrote this? Okay, so, and I am missing Diego, Alejandro, Gabriela, and Juan Marco. So one of these people, let me put room 6. And I'm going to delete the answers. So for example, Juan Marco that was not in the first class, you can use room 6 and you can complete, okay? Here you only have to write the questions. It says put in order. Well, yes, we don't need more. So this one, please. I don't know who's that. Let me see, Juan Marco, Alejandro, Diego, Gabriela. So Jessica, you don't have here. Gabriela, yes, you completed. So the owner of this no-name activity must be Diego or Alejandra. This one. I think it's a copy paste, so that's why I'm gonna delete it. So here you have one space in room 4 and the 2 spaces. So once you complete, then I can put a grade. Then only by doing quizzes or completing stuff, you have easy 10s. This is a live worksheet. Remember the link I sent and that you have to upload the screenshots. I change all the names, like first, the last names, okay? And if you have series, because I don't have the screenshot here, so I don't have your grade. What else? Well, these are the slides. I already put your grade, Diego. And well, Gabriela, you only complete the half of the part. That's why you have half of the grade. And then you haven't worked in the Padlet, so that's why you don't have grade either there. And regarding the Flipgrid videos, I know this is part of the presentation and some of you were not here, right? That's why, similar to what I did yesterday with Diego, that I reopened the video, I'm gonna do so, but I cannot open it forever, right? And as this is presentation, I'm not going to open this like for 1 month, no. I have only 3, 6, 7, 8 people in this presentation video. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 people haven't presented this task.
Miss, ¿ese video cuál es?
The
Miss,
present.
I don't know
Mhm.
this activity.
That's why it's a presentation. It was the very first day of class. That's what I'm saying, that I'm gonna reopen it so you can do it up to today, okay? So if you...
¿Me puede mandar, hay que grabar un video? Ahí.
Yes, if you don't know how to access to Flipgrid, you can go to the Moodle. Here, Altician Extra Resources, you have the Flipgrid group link. Here you have, you see? You click here and you have access to all the videos. The first one, let me open my account. The presentation and the last holiday that was the previous task, okay? So if you haven't presented the introduction, you can do it. If you haven't presented the last holiday, you can do it, okay? Both are open up to today, okay? So once you finish
Okay,
classes or in the afternoon, you can record the video and it's okay. So next week, I can change your grades, all right? So, any other question? So far, no. Let me see. I'm gonna close these. Have you finished group 5? Christina, Jessica. Yeah, for example, here, Christina and Jessica, you wrote your own answers. And I repeat again and again that you have to write the answers of your classmates. So, or you change the answers. Christina write the answers of Jessica and Jessica, the ones of Christina. Or then you have no 10, you have less grade. All right, I'm gonna click here on pending on Jessica's and Christina's grade. This is Christina. I'm gonna put pending on Jessica. So once you edit, I can put the grade, all right?
Miss, ahí tengo que escribir lo que le pregunté a mi compañera.
What your classmate answered. That's why the first part was speaking. You were listening to your classmates and taking notes, and your classmate has to write your answers. If you don't remember now, you can send a private message to her and ask her again. So you can write, for example, like your classmate did. Alejandro wrote the answers of Mel. She was doing blah, blah, blah. You have to write her answers, not yours. then it's nonsense to ask the other person or to be working in groups if you are going to write your own answer. For example, Diego and Fabricio, they correct. Now that's why they have the full grade, right? So please, once you correct, I can edit your grade, all right? Let me confirm, is this activities also open up to today or not? Yes, it is. Mhm. And introducing, is it open? I think I open it. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to do so, as I mentioned, not to have surprises later on. That's why I mentioned, check the Google Slides, check the activities, check the Flipgrid, complete what you're missing. Okay, so I truly want to finish with the activities here. And actually, we only have something extra that we need to check, which is an image regarding add-in on. It's similar to the image I send you in WhatsApp, okay? This is only a reference. It's not that you are going to do an activity here. No, it's just a help for you. Okay, so you can click on mark as done. All right, so. Let me close this. Okay. And I'm gonna unhide to see. In here, we don't have workbook, okay? And we don't have anything to do in groups so far. So that's why we go directly to unit to see. But this is the first one. No. There are activities that have only 2 minutes, 5 minutes. But no, I want to have. Up to here, pronunciation and stress. I'm taking the decision which one you might be doing with me or not. Let's do this too. Give me a second, let me check something. Yeah, this one you can do in pairs because we have already spoken about the stress. 10 minutes, yes. What else? We have. Wait a second, to be preguntas. Yeah, this one you can do it in groups too. So you have 2 so far. This is something you do with me. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do together the first one. And then you do 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will see if 5, the 5th activity, okay? But at least you have 4. Okay, so let's see. Here says, listen to the story and check. Remember, we are in the next unit in 2C, all right? I'm gonna share the audio. Okay, so first we have to listen. Please pay attention because I won't repeat 10 times. It will be only twice, that's it, okay?
1.45.
Hannah met Jamie in the summer of 2010. It was Hannah's 21st birthday, and she and her friends went to a club. They wanted to dance, but they didn't like the music, so Hannah went to speak to the DJ.
This music is awful.
She said.
Could you play something else?
The DJ looked at her and said,
Don't worry, I have the perfect song for you.
2 minutes later, he said,
The next song is by Scouting for Girls. It's called Blue as Your Eyes, and it's for a beautiful girl who's dancing over there.
Hannah knew that the song was for her. When Hannah and her friends left the club, the DJ was waiting for her at the door.
Hi, I'm Jamie,
he said to Hannah.
Can I see you again?
So Hannah gave him her phone number. Next day, Jamie phoned Hannah and invited her to dinner. He took her to a very romantic French restaurant, and they talked all evening.
Did he really?
Yeah, but you were throwing some amazing shapes though. I mean, I just couldn't stop looking at you.
Oh, shut up.
Although the food wasn't very good, they had a wonderful time. After that, Jamie and Hannah saw each other every day. Every evening when Hannah finished work, they met at 5:30 in a coffee bar in the high street. They were madly in love. One evening in October, Hannah was at work. As usual, she was going to meet Jamie at 5:30. It was dark and it was raining. She looked at her watch. It was 5:20. She was going to be late. She ran to her car and got in. At 5:25, she was driving along the high street. She was going very fast because she was in a hurry. Suddenly, a man ran across the road. He was wearing a dark coat, so Hannah didn't see him at first. Quickly, she put her foot on the brake.
Okay, do you have the answer? So you might need a repetition. You need a repetition? Yes, no? Tell me. If you don't say anything, I don't repeat. No?
Yes, miss.
Yes? Okay, so remember you have some options that you're going to use here. So you have after that, suddenly when, so my recommendation is that while you're listening the empty, you have to follow the reading. They're going to read this, right? When you listen, just write it down.
1.45.
Hannah met Jamie in the summer of 2010. It was Hannah's 21st birthday, and she and her friends went to a club. They wanted to dance, but they didn't like the music, so Hannah went to speak to the DJ.
This music is awful.
She said.
Could you play something else?
The DJ looked at her and said,
Don't worry, I have the perfect song for you.
2 minutes later, he said,
The next song is by Scouting for Girls. It's called Blue as Your Eyes, and it's for a beautiful girl who's dancing over there.
Hannah knew that the song was for her. When Hannah and her friends left the club, the DJ was waiting for her at the door.
Hi, I'm Jamie,
he said to Hannah.
Can I see you again?
So Hannah gave him her phone number. Next day, Jamie phoned Hannah and invited her to dinner. He took her to a very romantic French restaurant and they talked all evening.
Did he really?
Yeah, but you were throwing some amazing shapes though. I mean, I just couldn't stop looking at you.
Oh, shut up.
Although the food wasn't very good, they had a wonderful time. After that, Jamie and Hannah saw each other every day. Every evening when Hannah finished work, they met at 5:30 in a coffee bar in the high street. They were madly in love. One evening in October, Hannah was at work. As usual, she was going to meet Jamie at 5:30. It was dark and it was raining. She looked at her watch. It was 5:20. She was going to be late. She ran to her car and got in. At 5:25, she was driving along the high street. She was going very fast because she was in a hurry. Suddenly, a man ran across the road. He was wearing a dark coat, so Hannah didn't see him at first. Quickly, she put her foot on the brake.
Okay, answers. Let's see, number 1. Says, don't worry, I have the perfect song for you. What is the answer here?
¿Puedes subir un poquito?
Yeah.
Two
Next.
minutes later.
2 minutes later. Okay. Hannah knew that the song was for her.
When?
Okay, when? When Hannah and her friends left the club, blah, blah, blah. Okay, can I see you again? So Hannah gave him her phone number.
Next day.
Next day. Jamie phoned Hannah, etc. Then they had a wonderful time.
One evening in October.
What do you say? One evening in October.
Yes.
Wait a second. Wonderful time. Actually, here is after that. The next one is the one that you say. That said, Hannah was at work. One evening in October. I really need to make it smaller. I'm sorry, I know this is very small, but. Yeah, okay. So we have after that one evening in October, and the last one is
Suddenly.
suddenly. Okay, so please go and answer. Remember, this is from the new unit. New unit. Make it that way. Is this activity? Listen the story and check.
Miss, what is this activity? I don't.
In the new unit, the first one, 2C.
Es que no me sale.
Refresh the page, refresh, because I just opened it. Okay. So let's start answering the questions that we have here. Not with a partner, but all together. Let's answer. Why did Hannah go and speak to Jamie? Who can tell me that? Why did Hannah go and speak to Jamie? Remember, these are questions about this text. Okay, so we listen to the text 2 times and we even complete the text. So who can tell me the first, let me send you the questions by WhatsApp so you can see the questions while looking at the text. So why did Hannah go and speak to Jamie? So maybe she asked something, she requested something, she mentioned what? Who can tell me the answer of the first question? Who knows? It's a very simple answer, actually. So who knows? Standard, yes. So she was doing, they were in a party, I think they were, right? So she asked what to Jamie? I'm showing you the text, so you can read very
He
quickly.
didn't like the music.
Okay, yes. What about number 2? It says, why did Jamie play Blue as Your Eyes? Why? Because
Because Jamie dedicated the song for Hannah.
So actually it says this person knew that the song was for her, right? Yes, very good. Okay, number 3. What happened when Hannah left the club? What happened? Something happened. What was the thing that happened?
Jay was waiting for her in the door, and they began to speak, also began to talk.
Okay. All right. Now it says number 4. What was the restaurant like? What was the restaurant like? You know, remember you can read and answer. Yoo-hoo. So the restaurant was like, what? Was like
The restaurant was a French restaurant, and they
okay.
talked all evening.
All right. Yes, that is what the restaurant was like. Thank you. The next one says, number 5. Where did they go every evening after that? So after the restaurant, I think, or the club they went to, it says every evening. Remember, when you're talking evening, you're talking about what is after the afternoon, so during the night, but we say evening.
Every evening when Hannah finished work, they meet at 5:30 in a coffee bar in the high
Okay,
street.
that was the after, their after office, right? Great.
Yes.
Number 6, thank you. What was the weather like that evening when that happened? The weather, how was it?
It was dark and it was raining.
Yes, very nice. Okay, why was Hannah driving fast?
Because she was in a hurry.
Okay, what is the meaning of to be in a hurry? What's that?
Apurado.
That you don't have time, you are, you have the exact minutes to arrive on time. Yes. And I think there's a last question that we need to answer. And here it says, why didn't she see the man? Why? Why didn't she see the man? Why not?
Because he was wearing a dark coat. She didn't see him at the first time.
Okay. All right. So right now that we have not only complete the questions, wait a second. This long question here, I also want to do something else. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, so we did this. In here, just in case this is a group activity, but I want to know that you are sure about the meaning of these words. The words so, because, or although. So, the first one, when you use so, it's because you want to say what? Well, it has like 30 meanings, so, but when you use it as connector, I say, I woke up early today, so I have enough time to eat my breakfast slowly. What is the meaning of so in that sentence?
Así que.
Ajá, así que, great. O entonces, si tuve tiempo para, yes, es un linking word, exactly. Because, what is the meaning of because?
¿Por qué? Pero no.
Ajá.
O sea, para continuar la oración.
So it's not for a question, exactly. When you're asking the question, you use why. Why is purple your favorite color? Because I love the combination of blah, 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 right? So when you're asking, you say why, and when you answer, you say because I love blah, 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 or because I enjoy blah, 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 okay? Great. What about although? Although. I'm gonna mention, let's say an example, okay? So I would say, I truly enjoy English classes during the weekends, although I prefer not to wake up early, okay? So I'm saying that I like to teach in the weekends, although I don't enjoy to wake up early. Okay? I'm saying like, aunque no me gusta despertarme temprano o a pesar de que no me gusta despertarme temprano, sí disfruto las clases de los fines de semana. Okay? So, although, a pesar de, or aunque, okay? So, these are the words that you're going to use to complete this group work. Okay? That's why I'm explaining here so you have completely clear the situation in order to work in groups. Here it says put in order. You have to read. I know, and this is something I'm gonna do right now because then I forget. I'm gonna give you 2 tries. So at first you may see, I think this one is the first, this is the second. So maybe you have 0 because of a couple of numbers, but then you can repeat the task, okay? Here, the stress syllable. What is the stress? When it is a strong, the pronunciation, okay? We have checked stress in sentences, stress in words. In this case, the stress syllables. Okay, so these are 3 activities. Number 4 says, make verb phrases. So you have like, go on holiday, take, like, you only have to complete. This is the 4th, and I actually wanted to do 5th activity, but from the next unit. Wait a second, look at the for this one. One activity of the other unit, only vocabulary. Let me hide the rest. You don't need to do the rest. I don't want you to see this yet. Okay, so, and this, the 5th activity is vocabulary. Yes, it's 10 minutes. About airports. That is something we're going to use before. So, how many activities do you have in 2C? Unit 2C? 4. And the activity number 5, you have it, the number 5 in the 3A. In total, you have 5. Okay, so let's go to the 15 minutes recess, okay? And then you come back to your groups to work, okay? See you in 15 minutes. Go to your room. Jessica and Diego, go to your room. Jessica, Diego. Diego. Okay, guys, I started sharing the screen and working.
Las actividades es desde la 1C, ¿verdad?
Sorry?
Las actividades es del Student Book, desde la 1C, ¿verdad?
There are 4 activities in the unit 2C. And 1 in 3A. In total,
Yeah.
there are 5.
Okay, gracias.
Oigan, ¿qué hay que hacer entonces con las actividades?
Son 4, están en la unidad 12.
Las que dicen GW.
Ajá.
La GW1 ya la hicimos.
No.
No, esa tenemos que verlas ahorita.
Va a compartir.
Y alguien comparte. A ver, si quieren yo puedo compartir. Déjame ver. Share screen. No me deja compartir. Es que no estoy en mi compu. O sea, esta compu que tengo ahorita está mal. No sé si es que alguien pueda compartir.
Entonces ahí pueden ver.
Sí. En ese, según yo, es because, although y abajo so. No sé si estoy bien.
Aquí se va a hacer aquí.
No sé qué dicen los otros.
En la primera yo pienso que sería because.
Ajá, la
Because.
primera, yo
Sí.
también digo que es because. La segunda digo que es although y la tercera digo que es so. O sea,
Vamos a
quedaría por descarte.
poner.
Yo creo que está bien.
A ver, enviemos. Yo también lo voy a enviar. Está bien. Ajá. Está bien. Vamos a la otra que dice. Están permitidos. Yo ya puse la otra. Put the sentence in right order.
Está aquí.
Ajá. Creo que la uno, no sé si es la que dice Next day I read the story o One day in Tuesday en el 2011. Una de esas, según yo, es la uno.
A ver, aquí está.
Yo creo que one day, dejarle que dice one day, es la uno.
Creo que así quedaría.
Creo que sí está bien.
Ya terminé.
No hay que dudar. Creo que faltan dos actividades. No creo cómo este, verse.
¿Cuál es? Ah, la 3, espérate.
Mande. Ya abro yo, todavía no.
Sí, abre, para yo hacer.
Creo que la segunda es room.
Alone. Eso, no.
Creo que esa es GIF.
¿Cuál?
GIF, creo.
Ah, ah, ah. Somebody.
Creo que esa es steak.
Somebody to restaurant. Sí.
Terminals.
Check-in 9. No sé, yo digo.
Pero hay uno, dos.
Estoy segura que check-in es la 9.
Sí, esta es que es verdad. Creo que la 9 es check-in.
Mm, La que dice la segunda.
¿Y la
Esta.
segunda cuál
Sí,
es?
esa es la que está señalando. Es la 7.
Es la 7.
La 7. De ahí la otra es la 1.
La 1. Check-in 9.
Creo que es 9.
De Customs,
8.
de Purse es la 5.
2.
No,
2.
no. Y de
David
ahí,
está bien. En la 11 está bien. 5 está también está bien. Pasa por control 10. Está bien. Termina en la cuarta.
pleno es la que faltaba. Ahí
David
está.
y la otra también.
Terminamos.
Dice mami que te pongas a hacer las tareas.
Sí, ya me llamó. Dice, si me llevo para que le va Juan Marco, in which group were you?
I don't know, me. Grupo 4 with Lilibet, Jessica.
Okay.
El grupo ya terminó, ¿qué hacemos?
Okay, you finished the 5 activities up to the unit number 3, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see something, wait a minute.
Me es una cosa, pero es externa
Ya
al
no.
grupo de a Maylin.
La imagen que hice fue la que hice G25, 25, son como puertas, ¿no?
Sé quién creo que es la 10. Bueno, no, yo tengo aquí 10. Yo recuerdo.
The number G525, that is gates. Gates, gate 5.
Gates 5.
That is 11. That is 11. Gates, it's 11.
Gate.
That says G525. That is 11 gates.
Entonces no son puertas. Yo creo que el check-in es la 9.
Yes.
La 9. Mira. Oh. ¿Cuál falta? 1. La 2. Pero no creo que sea eso. Ah. Like, no. Ese que aquí. Acá.
Guys, this was your last activity, right? You already complete the other 4. Yes. Or not yet?
Sí, las 5 ya las con. Esta era la última que nos faltaba.
Okay. Yeah, let me check the other groups because as they have also finished, maybe we can finish earlier the class, okay? Let me go back.
Okay.
Hi, guys. Have you finished, right?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So I'm gonna close the rooms because all of your classmates have finished. So we're going to leave earlier today, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, miss.
All right. Okay, so guys, don't forget that during the week, you have to continue working on Altician. Please don't forget never to work in Altician. Today, I show you the grades that you have or not complete. So please complete activities that you haven't. If you are missing any video, don't forget that both tasks in Flipgrid are open, so you can do them today. Okay? So it might depend on you that for next week, you have all the grades complete. All right, let me, yeah. I have requested a report of Alticia. And as the other modules are taking exams, so probably I won't have it today. But for next class, I can see how is your work in Alticia so far, if you have already finished 2, 3, 4 units or not. So please, I really want to check that you have been working there, right? So let me take the screenshot so we can go 15 minutes earlier. So you are really quickly. I remember the first class you were doing 2, 3 activities in the last hour. Now you're doing 5 and finish earlier. So great. Very good. So let me take the screenshot. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Thank you so much. Have a nice week. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye. See
Thank you, Miss.
Bye-bye. See you guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, Miss.
See you.